Great Grandma's homemade noodle recipe. Rebelcanners teaching all kinds of food preservation, especially the old ways. Like, subscribe, and especially ring that notification bell so you don't miss an episode. This recipe is per egg, figure 1 egg per person. 1 cup of flour, all purpose. A pinch of salt per egg. 1/2 eggshell of heavy whipping cream. You may need a little bit more to make a stiff dough. Make a well in your flour and salt mixture and break your eggs into the well. Enlist some helpers to stir. Keep stirring, adding a little bit more cream if necessary to get to the stiff dough stage. The dough will get quite sticky and you need to just keep stirring to get to that really stiff dough stage. The dough is getting really hard to stir and it's getting to a nice hard ball stage. Good stiff dough. At this point, you might need to enlist some stronger help. The helpers just get cuter and cuter. Lightly flour your work surface so that the dough doesn't stick while you work with it. Work with small segments of your dough at a time. It'll make it easier to get it rolled out to the right thickness. coat with flour lightly so it'll make rolling it out easier. Coat your rolling pin with flour so that the dough doesn't stick to it. You may need to go back and do this step a couple of times to keep the dough from sticking to the rolling pin. Roll your dough out to about 1/4 of an inch thickness. Your noodles will plump up when cooking, so you want the dough relatively thin. Keep working with the dough until you get it rolled right out there really thin. Once you have your dough to about 1/4 of an inch thickness, you can begin cutting. Again, your noodles are going to plump up while drying and when cooking, so you need them to be a little bit thinner than your end result that you desire. Repeat until you have all your noodles shaped and lightly floured to dry. Go ahead and separate your noodles slightly from each other or hang them up to dry and lightly flour them so that they can dry out a little bit better. And they are ready now to use, or they can be dried and froze for use later. In a large pot, prepare broth and canned chicken. When the broth comes to a boil, add your noodles and let cook for 10 minutes. Add your seasonings of choice to flavor. We add poultry spice, garlic powder, salt, pepper, a dash of Lowry seasoning salt, and a little bit of parsley. Simmer, and the flour on the noodles thickens your broth. And there you have it. It's ready to serve. Comfort food at its finest.